coming up on News Live at 6. Kicking off Remembrance Week, how the community is remembering the lives lost in Pan Am Flight 103.
Last picture is worth 1,000 words. How members of the Syracuse community came together to give new life to their old family photos.
And fall-like weather is finally here. I'll have your full 5-day forecast. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Remembrance Week on campus is already underway. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Nicole Aponte.
And I'm Peyton Spellacy. The week honors the 35 students who were killed in the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland 35 years ago. This morning, Remembrance Scholars hosted a stone painting event on the quad. The stones will be used in the annual rose-laying ceremony this Friday. But before today, Remembrance Week kicked off with a candlelight vigil outside of the Hall of Languages last night. Lauren Holdmeyer reports.
Celebrated here on campus every year to honor the lives lost on Pan Am Flight 103 in 1988. Last night, Remembrance Scholars and students gathered to reflect on why this week is so meaningful.
It's important for us to know what happened at our university. Even if it happened 35 years ago, it still affects us, and it affects the families that live in our community and the surrounding nations.
Shining a light for people to realize what happened in 1988.
The candlelight vigil in particular is important because all of the victims of the attack are recognized.
This event really honors all 270 victims, and we light the candle, 35 of them, to represent one of each of the Syracuse students, but we read the names of all 270 victims that were on the flight and lost their lives that day.
Thomas Edwin Williams, Keisha Wheaton, Jerome Lane Weston.
And even after 35 years, the 35 SU students lost on the flight are still remembered.
We still care, and to honor those lives and to keep it going throughout all the years.
You know, any of us could have been the 35.
And at the end of tonight's ceremony, all of the Remembrance Scholars and guests here in attendance were invited to come right back here behind me and light one of these candles in remembrance of the people who passed away. In Syracuse, Lauren Holdmeyer, CitrusTV News.
Lauren, thank you. Remembrance Week continues this week with multiple events planned. On Wednesday, all 35 Remembrance Scholars will sit in solidarity in the empty chairs on display in the quad. That starts at 9:15. Also on Wednesday, there's a screening of the film C20D in HBC Gifford Auditorium at 7 p.m. Thursday night at 8, the Celebration of Life will also take place in the HBC Gifford Auditorium. On Friday at 2:03 p.m., the annual rose-laying ceremony will be held at the Hall of Languages and followed by convocation at Hendricks Chapel at 3 p.m.
Tonight, the Newhouse School is hosting a screening of an investigative documentary. The documentary looks into the relationship between victims and their interactions with police. Journalist and creator Rachel DeLeon will follow the screening with a Q&A. Well, turning to our first look at our forecast, it's starting to finally feel like fall.
Yes, it was my first time that I wore a coat to class today, but I'm loving it. I feel like usually it happens earlier in the semester.
For sure. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I love the warm weather, but the fall feels great too. Well, our weather anchor, Lauren Holdmeyer, she's here right now. Lauren, is this fall weather here to stay?
Well, guys, you are right about the fall weather finally being here. However, I am just a little bit disappointed in how gloomy it has been today. It has been overcast skies all day. We haven't seen much sun at all, and it definitely is cooling off. We're down to about 54 degrees right now. The average high for the area at this time of year is 60 degrees. I don't think we quite made it up to 60 today, but we did get pretty close. Pretty average temperatures. And then taking a look around the area, we're seeing pretty much the same story. Also 54 up in Fulton and 56 in Rome. Just a little bit cooler down south, 51 in Ithaca and 49 in Cortland. And then looking ahead to tonight, we're not going to make it down to the 40s yet, but we are going to drop down to 51 degrees. Just a slight chance of rain tonight, and we'll maybe see a little bit more of that later on in the week. Peyton and Nicole?
Lauren, thank you. Hopefully we don't get too much rain tonight. And today starts another set of road closures from the I-81 repairs. A double-lane closure is expected between the northbound exit at 18 at Adams and Harrison Streets and the on-ramp onto I-690 westbound. The fixes come in preparation for the snow and ice this winter. Work will continue through the end of the week through the end of the month, with the last project starting next week.
The annual CNY Care Package project is back today at all Syracuse Wegmans locations. The project aims to create over 1,000 care packages for people in need. The packages will be made up of body wash, shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, and more. Donations will be accepted until November 19th and will be distributed at the end of November. You can also provide a monetary donation order items to the United Way of CNY, or hold a drive for the project.
And there's a new proposal for senior apartments in Manlius. The proposed Garden Park senior apartments would be built on an 8-acre plot on Highbridge Road. The current design plans to have a 3-story building made up of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. The project developer needs a zone change in order for the project to move forward. The town of Manlius has held a public hearing on the zone change and is expected to make a decision soon.
At the Everson Museum of Art last weekend, Syracuse residents came together to share family photos and preserve their stories for years to come. CitrusTV reporter Tyler O'Donnell attended the event last weekend and talked to those who decided to share their story. Tyler, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Nicole. The program is called Family Picture Syracuse, and it's an initiative brought to Syracuse by the university's Turning Lens Collective. The program aims to help preserve family photos and stories from around the local area. However, when I talked to some of the attendees, I learned that the event meant so much more than simple preservation. To them, the program is a way to share their family history with other members of the community. For Jaleel Campbell, the Syracuse Family Photos event helped him share the story of his late cousin, Terry Robinson. Campbell said that during his life, Terry wasn't accepted by his family due to identifying as a queer man. With the help of the Family Pictures Project, Campbell feels that people finally heard the story of Terry's life.
It resonated with people, and that was like the most important part for me. A woman just came up to me and told me that she didn't even know that he passed away. They were high school friends, and that she wants to sit down with me so I can interview her about their relationship.
Campbell is just one of several people last Sunday who presented their family photos to a crowd at Everson Art Museum. The topics were different for each family. Some focused on remembering loved ones, while others detailed their time growing up in Syracuse. But despite the wide range of topics, all of these stories were united by one thing: the presence of photography. While the weekend-long program served as a way to tell individual stories to an audience, program contributor Sarah Nahar feels that the event's true impact came from how each story adds to the community's history.
I feel that having a chance to tell my story together with the others, we weave together the tapestry, the broader image of our community at large.
Some of these stories date all the way back to the days of the 15th Ward, a vibrant multicultural community in Syracuse that was destroyed in the 1960s. This historical aspect made the preservation of these photos a key draw for participants of the project.
Some of the photos, it's their first time digitized. Other of the photos, the digital photo is so old that it's no longer compatible. So to have it digital at this moment in time with this technology is really
The preservation
special.
process involves more than just photo scanning, though. The program staff, with the help of documentarian Thomas Allen Harris, produces a short one-on-one interview with the family revolving around their selected photos, making sure that the photos and the stories behind them are kept alive for the future. If you're interested in hearing these family stories and seeing the photos that go alongside them, the Syracuse University Archives and Byrd Library will be holding a pop-up exhibition for the project on November 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Peyton, Nicole, back to you.
Thank you, Tyler. Residents in the village of Solvay are safe after a chemical fire spread throughout a facility. 2 dumpsters containing products from the Chemtrade Logistics facility caught fire yesterday afternoon. The Syracuse Fire Department extinguished the flames nearly an hour after arriving to the plant. Air monitoring units confirm there are no further hazards to residents.
Multiple people are behind bars following a kidnapping and burglary attempt last night. Police say Owais Malo attempted to rob a 28-year-old man on East Laurel Street. After reporting the attempted robbery, the 28-year-old also told police his brother was being held captive in a home down the street. Police say they found 2 men holding the brother and another victim captive. Ram and Laxman Katiwanda are charged with first-degree kidnapping, burglary, and a third-degree possession of a weapon.
And new legislations are now in place to improve the sale of alcoholic beverages in New York. Governor Kathy Hochul signed multiple legislations on Sunday in an effort to expand options for consumers and support small alcoholic beverage businesses. The last law regarding alcohol came last year when takeout drinks were allowed. Governor Hochul is reviewing legislation regarding wine in grocery stores, with more information expected to come out in January.
And it's only $1. You can't beat that.
After the break, there's a bus service to help you get to the airport. How commuters are already using it.
Plus, some UPenn alumni have stopped donating to their alma mater. Find out why when we come back.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
You're watching CitrusTV News live at 6 with Peyton Spellacy, Nicole Aponte, and Lauren Holdmeyer. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. It has now been over 2 months since Central announced their new bus service to the airport. Citrus TV's Zach Richter takes a closer look into how commuters are already using it.
It's been about 1 month since Central began their new bus service to the Syracuse airport. But how many people are now using this service?
It's about a handful of people, about 5 to 10 people a day that use that service to and from the hub and from the airport.
Stephen Cagle is Central's Vice President of Communications. He says that this new airport service was the previous Mattydale route.
Instead of going to North Syracuse, we redirected it and straightened it out a little bit and so we can make the time and get out to the airport.
That new bus service from the Central Transit Hub leaves directly behind me right across that street over there.
The new service costs only $1 for most riders and has over 13 departures each weekday. But some say they'd still drive.
Yeah, I feel like I usually take the first flight out in the morning, so it's pretty early, so I don't think I'd want to walk at 4 a.m. down to the bus to go to the airport, but I feel like I'd be open to taking the bus from the airport back downtown.
I took a ride on the SY-84 route to the airport, which currently does not have any scheduled service on Sunday. even though Sunday is one of the biggest travel days of the week.
Good. We know that the majority of those individuals are employees at the airport. And that's really what the service is designed to serve.
Citrus TV News spoke with an employee at the airport who wanted to remain anonymous, who says this service has changed her life. She says it has saved her hundreds of dollars every day. We also spoke with other Syracuse residents who say they will now always use the bus when headed to the airport.
I absolutely would take the bus. I love riding the Central, especially during the summertime, and it's only $1. You can't beat that.
Zach Great Stuff in Centro says the new service is a trial period for at least the next 6 months. The FBI has released their annual crime report. The report reveals violent crime is on the decline, while property crimes have risen substantially. A criminal justice expert attributes this drop in violence to the end of the pandemic.
Not all law enforcement agencies provided data, but this year's collection represents over 90% of the population. Property crimes jumped around 7%, with motor vehicle thefts accounting for the majority of crimes.
Prominent alumni of the University of Pennsylvania are no longer donating to their alma mater. Those alumni saying the Ivy League school isn't doing enough to counter anti-Semitism. Former U.S. Ambassador John Huntsman is the latest on a growing list of trustees pulling support.
Controversy began last month during the Palestine Writers Literature Festival on campus. The university admitted the event included speakers with a history of anti-Semitic remarks. Huntsman wrote a letter to UPenn president saying, quote, "Silence is anti-Semitism and anti-Semitism is hate."
And coming up on News 5 at 6, I'll have some of the best places you can see some fall foliage along with your 5-day forecast. Stick with us.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look now at our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow it's going to be kind of the same picture as today. We're going to make it up to 58 degrees. There is just a slight chance of rain throughout the majority of the day tomorrow. Looking ahead into Wednesday and Thursday, that sun might come back out just a little bit, and we are going to be making our way back up into the 60s. We're going to warm back up just a little bit, although Friday we are going to see those showers start to come in. Friday night the showers will start, and then all day Saturday we are going to be seeing a lot of that rain. But some good news is if you want to see some fall foliage, there are a lot of places around New York State right now where you can see some beautiful leaves. One of them being Binghamton, which is just about an hour south of Syracuse. So if you are looking to see some beautiful fall colors, although they haven't made it to Syracuse just yet, there are several places around the state that you can see some of those. So definitely make sure to check that out. Peyton and Nicole?
Lauren, thanks so much. Looks like we're going to Binghamton after this to see some fall foliage. The executive chair of the Ford Motor Company publicly told the United Auto Workers Union to stop their strike. This comes as Ford has hit a crossroads with UAW negotiations.
Bill Ford says UAW leaders have labeled his company a, quote, enemy in negotiations. The president of UAW has disagreed with Ford's assessment over the state of negotiations. More than 16,000 Ford employees are currently on strike.
Well, guys, the people at Ford aren't the only ones on strike. The Syracuse football offense, only 20 points in its previous 2 games before going to Florida State. Will they get back to work? You'll find out on the other side with sports.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Syracuse football has been outscored by almost 90 points in its last 3. Yuck. Welcome to the sports. I'm Ian Nicholas. SU's third straight loss came at Florida State Saturday, 41-3. An anemic offense was played by a quarterback dealing with the effects of food poisoning. Head coach Dino Babers had to bench an ailing Garrett Schrader before things got uglier.
If you even watched him, I mean, he's just, at halftime, he was just all sweat and all that kind of stuff, and he had it coming out of everywhere. So it was one of those things where we were trying to keep him going, but then it just came to a point where he was just getting too weak in the game, and we just needed to make a change.
Well, a change was made. Garrett Schrader only had 100 yards through the first 3 quarters. His backup, Carlos Del Rio Wilson, threw a pick in that 4th quarter. Florida State outscored SU by 17. In the final 15, the Noles rolled to their 6th consecutive win to start the season. The Orange dropped to 4-3 ahead of their bye week. On to the pitch. The last 2 men's national champions squared off from SU Soccer Stadium yesterday. 10th-ranked Syracuse and 21st-ranked Clemson saw defense dominate in a 1-1 draw. In fact, Orange center back Booster Schoberg scored his squad's lone goal. The defender drilled a free kick in the 77th minute to tie it up. Schoberg hadn't found the back of the net in his first 45 games with the Cuse, but the captains got goals in 2 of the last 3 matches. SU's last non-conference match is Wednesday against Yale. And speaking of conference, non-conference matchups, how about the best team in the ACC for field hockey? North Carolina, the 6-time defending conference champions, they looked like it. On Friday from Coyne Stadium, a 4-1 win. The Orange weren't shut out because they scored a goal in the final minute of the game. But we'll go to Ithaca on Sunday. Another ranked matchup and another loss. Only the 3rd win for the Big Red in the last 16 years against the Orange. The Orange had their opportunities, 2 penalty strokes, but couldn't convert on either of them in this game. Speaking of opportunities, how about we go to the Meadowlands and we take a look at somebody who's just throwing a football, Aaron Rodgers. Why is he throwing a football? He blew out his Achilles a month ago. Whatever he's on, I want to be on. Speaking of elite quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts just sends it deep with his team down 6 in the fourth quarter. Incomplete turnover on downs. This game is over, and the Jets hand the Eagles their first loss against these two teams all time. Robert Saleh, he's excited. But how about we go to Orchard Park, see how it was going down between the Giants and Bills on Sunday Night Football. This game also ended in an incompletion. Tyrod Taylor to Darren Waller. His time expires and his team down 5. Incomplete, but let's get another look. A lot of contact from Bills defensive back Teron Johnson. How about one more look from the heavens? You see that left shoulder of Darren Waller? You can't do that. That's pass interference, right? Well, no, the referee under the goalpost says no. Giants coach Brian Daboll, what do you think? Oh, no, he's not happy. He doesn't win the revenge game, guys, and the Giants lose that one 14-9.
All right, Ian. So we just talked about Aaron Rodgers being out. How is it affecting the Jets season?
Oh, it's really been ups and downs because they won the first game that Rodgers got hurt in, and then all of a sudden this team rallied, beat the Broncos last week, but beating the Eagles, the defending NFC champions, without Aaron Rodgers. This team's got a great defense. If they don't turn over the ball, they may not need him.
So I hear there was a special guest at the Jets game too, right?
There was. It wasn't Jason Kelce, the center for the Eagles. It was his brother Travis. They won on Thursday night against the Broncos, so he had some time off, and there was no Taylor Swift, unfortunately for all the Swifties out there. She was there for Travis's last Broncos game, though, so we should see more of her as the NFL season continues.
And Nicholas, thank you so much. When we come back, we have one last look at your weather. Stay with us.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro! Oh, look at the rain! Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. It's so wet.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look at our wake-up weather for tomorrow morning. We are going to drop all the way down into the 40s tomorrow morning. It's definitely going to be very chilly on your way to class, so make sure you grab that jacket on your way out the door. You might need an umbrella. We're not looking at too much of a chance for rain tomorrow, but in Syracuse, you know it's always a chance of rain here. Overcast skies for the most part, but we are going to have 90% humidity, which means even though it is cooler out, it might still be a little sweaty as you're out and about walking around.
40-degree weather I don't love, but 5 new sports have been added to the Olympic Games. The 2028 Summer Games in Los Angeles will have flag football, baseball and softball, cricket, lacrosse, and squash. It'll be the first time flag football and squash will be in the Olympics. Out of these sports, which ones are you guys most looking forward to?
Okay, I played flag football. I'm not gonna. My dad was the coach of the team.
It's not real football, though.
But it's still it's less injury, and I feel like it's getting its time. Finally, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also looking forward to seeing some flag football. I think it'd be pretty entertaining, to be honest.
Well,
so, yeah.
I didn't know we were going to be talking about this, but I'm wearing the lacrosse tie. Maybe that shows I'm too much of a Northeasterner.
Look, but you got the, it's perfect. It's good.
They're little here. Lacrosse is a fun game, and it's huge up in Syracuse. We have some of the best teams in the country, so I think here in Central New York, that's what people are most excited to see.
Yeah, I mean, squash and cricket, I feel like that'll be very interesting to see. at the actual Olympics, right? I feel like I don't know how exciting they would be, right? I don't know. Right?
Cricket matches take days.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to be on the Olympics, but look, I'm no contact sport person. I like my track, I like swimming, that's it. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys play any kind of sports like lacrosse, softball, baseball before coming to college?
I played them. Did I play them well? I'm 5'7", Nicole, so no, I didn't play them well, but I did it.
I was a tennis girl myself, so I'll be watching that.
There you go. Well, sadly, that's all Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Monday.
And don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Peyton Spellacy.
And Nicole Aponte. Have a great night, Syracuse.